All right, so let's take a look at this figured bass here. You can get the PDF for this in the description below. And let's start with voicing the chord, the first chord right here. Okay, so you look, the key signature is C major. No sharps and flats, begins and ends on C, but it's highly chromatic, right? So definitely we have a 1 chord here. And if we think about the 7 right here, that means it's a 7th chord, okay? And I'll just sketch this down here. It would be good if you could just do this in your head, but just for purposes of talking here, we've got this C sharp, and we need a 3rd, a 5th, and a 7th, and the flat on the 7 tells us that that is a C sharp fully diminished 7th chord. And in this context, that's going to be a 7 diminished 7 of 2, which will go to the 2 chord. Okay, so it's really easy to move to this as smoothly as possible. And for this exercise, we are going for the concept of spival, the smoothest possible voice leading. All right, and the smoothest possible voice leading is to maintain the common tone whenever you can. There's nothing smoother than that. And next would be moving by step, and then finally a leap, preferring smaller leaps over larger leaps. We can move here to this chord through 2 common tones. The C will step to B flat and the C to C sharp. And this is our C sharp fully diminished 7th chord. Now when we're resolving a fully diminished 7th chord, a leading tone 7th chord, of course, the root of that chord is acting like a leading tone and needs to resolve up. The 7th should resolve down. We're going to take this 5th of the chord is going to resolve down to the 3rd. And we're going to take this E and resolve this down to D. So we have a root position 2 chord here, properly doubled, 2 roots, a 3rd, and a 5th. So now this figure right here with the 4 and 2 with a plus on the 4. Okay, so this is a C natural in the bass. This means 6, 4, 2, which means we have a D, an F, and an A. Okay, some people think of it meaning that this C is the 7th of the chord in the bass, and again that would give us a D, F, A. And the plus on the 4 means the 4th above the bass has a sharp on it, so this gives us a D7 chord. All right, it's a chromatically altered chord. It's a major triad with a minor 7th, so this is a 5, 4, 2 of something, and D is 5 of G, and in the key of C, G is 5. So this is a 5, 4, 2 of 5. Once again, this is a D7 chord coming from a D minor chord, so we have lots of common tones. The D moves to C natural, and F has to go to F sharp to make it into the major triad with a minor 7th. Now, when we go to the next chord, we can see that this bass note has been chromatically altered. And if you think back to this chord, this D7, 5, 7 of 5, you'd expect that to go to 5, 6. The 7th resolving down, the leading tone resolving up. And that does happen, it's just that the 5 chord here is the minor 5 chord, which is borrowed through mode mixture from the parallel minor of C minor. Okay, so we're going to take that 7, of course, has to resolve down. That's given to us in the bass line. The F sharp is acting like the leading tone, resolving up. We'll keep this common tone, and we'll move this to G. Okay, so now we have a 6, 5. Okay, and 6, 5, this is, if we have the B in the bass, 6, 5, you could think of that as that's the 3rd of a 7th chord. Okay, so you could think of it that way, or you could think that it means 6, 5, and 3 above the bass. Either way, the notes that it generates for you is G7, which is 5, 6, 5 in the key of C. Okay, so this minor 5 chord becomes the major 5 chord, and we add the 7th on it. So B flat goes to B, we keep our D common tone. So the notes we still need are G and F. So we have 2 Gs, one of them will sustain, and one will move to F. It would be far superior to keep the G here and have this move to F. And I'm just going to include the courtesy accidental F natural since we just had the F sharp here, just to be unambiguous about it. Now, we had 2 Gs here, and I kept the G in the tenor and moved the alto to F, because if this had stayed on G and this moved to F, this would have been more than an octave. It would have been a ninth between the G and the alto and the F and the tenor. And that would be a poor spacing, which would not allow the 4 voices to blend together and for us to hear it as one sound. And once we're here, this is a very simple resolution. Of course, the leading tone goes up, the 7th resolves down, keep our common tone, and this can resolve right here. So that's that. That is the resolution, the 4-voice realization of this short chromatic figured bass. I'm going to just cut away for a second and take this to the piano, and I will play it for you so you can hear it. So I'm at the piano right now, and the bass line and if we add in the other voices, it's the C major, 7 diminished 7 of 2 to 2. Now listen to that chord is the 5, 4, 2 of 5. Now we'd expect this to go to G, but instead we go to the minor G chord, the minor 5, which is a mode mixture chord. That lets us then go to here with, again, another nice voice leading pattern, and we can resolve. So listen to the soprano and the bass. And the 4 voices.